What's up, everybody, and welcome back yet again to another drum playthrough review. Thank you all for tuning in and stopping by. It's great to have everyone here. For everyone who's brand new, hello and welcome. My name is Nick. I'm a multi-instrumentalist as well as a mixing and mastering artist. And the reason why we do these videos is because it is, first of all, fun to watch other drummers who are better than us. It's good for us to learn from drummers who are better than us by watching their content and learning from their technique, breaking it down into a nice, easy to digest format, so that way we can use that to make ourselves better musicians. We're checking out a drummer that's been on the YouTube game for a very long time now, and he's got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of covers out there. You may recognize this man, you may recognize his face or his lack of showing it thereof, and you may also recognize a bunch of the covers that he's done out there. A lot of them are really popular, have millions of views and whatnot. This guy's an absolute Chad, and he's a drummer that honestly has helped to really vitalize the YouTube drumming sphere. The guy's name on YouTube is Delta Empire. Dude's got like 200,000+ subscribers. He's made his living off of playing drum covers online. That's absolutely sick. He's a faceless YouTube drummer. He doesn't show his face, he wears a mask, and he beats the absolute crap out of his drums. I remember first seeing a video of this guy years and years ago. I was just like, who is this dude? And I realized, wow, he is actually like a really good drummer. I remember one thing he used a really tiny snare drum. I know that for sure because his snare drum sounded really high pitched, really tiny sounding. It sounded really nice and poppy, and I like that. I like it when snare drums are really high pitched and all that. It cuts through the mix in a very special way. But anyway, we're going to be checking out a drum playthrough that this man did of a Doom song, as in, yes, the Doom OST, what actual doom metal is supposed to be. Anyway, this is a song that was written by the legendary composer Mick Gordon. It's for the Doom OST track. It's called BFG Division. Obviously, you all have heard it. It's an absolutely heavy, brutal song, and I believe that this man is going to do this cover some justice, because a lot of the covers that he does absolutely insanely well. His power is on point. Everything else is on point. He's just a phenomenally great drummer. So we're going to take a look at this man's technique. We're going to see if we can find some new stuff about, this guy that we can learn from. And let's go ahead and jump right into the playthrough. I'm kind of excited to see what you guys are going to learn for this one. All right. Without further ado, ladies and gents, let's get into the playthrough. And I'm going to change the quality a little bit so it's a little higher. He's using a lot of like really high setup cymbals there. He plays mostly thrash metal. Very interesting build-up, because this isn't technically part of the original song. That snare drum sounds huge. He's using a much bigger snare drum than before. Sounds loud. Wow. That's actually a very interesting approach to the song. So he's subdividing the ostinato. Instead, he's using a triplet pattern for the cymbals, instead of using just a regular eighth note pattern. That's very interesting. I do think it's funny, though, that for this many years, he's stayed anonymous. And even to this day, he's never revealed his identity. He wears gloves and everything just to protect his identity. I like this approach to it, though. Very unique and outside the box. I like that too. That's a nice little cymbal accent. So he's using a lot of rudiment fragments as well. He's using lots of different flams and stuff like that. He's using a lot of wrist technique. You can tell he's very experienced with it because of how he's holding the stick. He's not like death gripping it, he's keeping very loose with it. Even on both hands. If you just look at his hands. His kicks sound very good. This is a cool beat. What is? I'm trying to figure out the rudiment that he's using there. It's very interesting. It's very groovy sounding. I like that. I like this. He's taking a very out-of-the-box approach from this. Hold on a second. Wait a second. Hold on. I need to see that angle again, please. Please go back. No, hold on a second. Sorry for the interruption there. There's a little clip that I had to cut back to. Hold on. We're going to scroll back for just a second. I want y'all to see what I just saw here. Do you see right here what's going on? What the mouse and the cursor are circling. You see what that is? I don't know how I did not just notice that. We're going to enhance, okay? Enhance, and then we'll just enhance back out. You know what I'm saying? We'll do that. We'll do some studio magic in there. That there, my friends, that means that there's no organic sound coming from the drums. What he is using is he's using a drum plugin on his iPad. And he has sampled out all of his drums and is using triggers with it. That's unfortunate to see because here's the thing. I don't understand why he's doing that. He sounds great as a drummer. I'm sure the studio drums sound just fine. Especially when with someone at that capacity, like, hold on a second. You shouldn't be playing with that. I don't know how I just noticed that. But yeah, I was looking at it a second ago and I was just like, wait, hang on a second. What is that? And I didn't want to say anything at first because I was like, I might be wrong about this. But then when I just scroll back and I see, oh, wait a second. He's got a drum machine set up here. Or at least a drum plugin. That means that he has sampled out all of his drums. He's basically, and this is a common setup that I've seen with some people. He basically has turned his acoustic kit into an electronic kit. In essence, so he has trigger nodules that are somewhere on the drums. I have to look for them now in a second, but basically what he's done, you're hearing the acoustic drums when you're in studio, right? But you have the trigger nodules that are on there. What's happening is every time he hits the drums, he triggers that trigger nodule, and then what it does is that's plugged in to a computer. Right? That's plugged into a little unit. And that sends a message to the drum plugin right? And it triggers the part. It triggers the pad that drum nodule is hooked up to, right? So he's got that snare hooked up on there. He's got it hooked up via the trigger nodule into the module, into the pad to play the snare sound. Is this cheating? Technically, it can be, yeah. But, and I will say but, here's the thing. He is, sorry again about the jump cut now, audio went out. Is this cheating? Technically, yes, but also technically no. Here's the thing. We're not hearing the organic sound of the drums. We are hearing a sampled version of it, but he is playing those notes in order to actually get those responses. So yes, he is playing it, but it's that's kind of cheating. In order to get the sound, it doesn't sound organic. That's the only issue. On with the playthrough, though. Not meaning to, defame the guy. He's obviously a good drummer, but there is just a little bit of deception in how the drums sound. Because you can see the iPad right there. You can see the iPad right there. It's very faint, and you can barely even see it. But when he hits a drum, it's triggering, and you'll see it like go darker, right? To infer that it's been triggered. That is kind of disappointing for me to see. His technique, though, is very clean. Now my goal is to just find his trigger nodules and where they are. Because I don't see anything around the outside of the drum part there, so unless it's hidden underneath. Or unless he just has his bass drums triggered out. That might be what it is. It might be that just his bass drums are triggered out. Either way, though, that's still a pretty darn good job on his part. He did a very excellent job doing that cover, and performing it well. Whether or not it was mimed along to, in essence, or whether or not the performance was a little bit embellished with a drum pad instead, I can't say for sure. But either way, it was still a good performance. I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. So let's talk about it a little bit. So first of all, with his technique, obviously, like I said, he was keeping very loose, wrist, full leg motion, all that stuff, right? We've talked about this in extent before on the channel. It's all, a very heavily power-based song, in essence, so you are going to want to choose technique that's going to emphasize that power. Now that we've gotten that out the way, let's talk about the issue at hand, which we have spotted in the video, which is using a drum pad. So here's the thing. Basically, what he's doing is he's using a plug-in in order to achieve a sound on his drums that he can't organically get. Now, just looking at it again for a little bit, it maybe looks like that he's just using it for the bass drum triggers, because I didn't see any other trigger nodules around the other parts of the kit. It looked like just the bass drums, maybe. And here's the thing, triggering out your bass drums, I don't have a problem with anybody triggering out their drums. If you want to trigger it out, bro, go for it. As long as you're not cheating with your triggers, again, as I will emphasize with all these other playthroughs that I'm doing and doing reviews on, I'm fine with that. It's not necessarily a problem to trigger out your drums or anything like that. What's the problem is if you're using the triggers in order to cheat your way through a performance and deceive people and be a fake natty drummer. That is not tolerated. Do I think he's a fake natty drummer? No. I think what he's doing is more than likely he's probably downloaded that particular drum plugin because he likes the way that particular kick sounds. So he's probably just triggered out his kicks and he's using that in order to do it. I wouldn't show that on screen if I was him, because here's the thing, the drums sounded absolutely amazing, and I would have thought honestly that it was not a triggered out kick. I would have thought that was organic. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. It's not necessarily a problem. It's just that it just makes you kind of look a little bit it makes things look a little bit sketch when you're using a drum plugin while you're playing a song. It kind of makes it look like, okay, well, maybe he's not exactly playing this organically like we thought. Again, I don't think that he's faking the playthrough with this one. I think this is all 100%. Yes, he's playing everything on the top. I just think the kick drums are probably triggered out. Either way, I do a little bit more than using triggers. Encourage you to just use the organic sound because I like the human feel of things instead of using the triggered side of things. But yeah, other than that, he kept very loose, very nice, good technique, very solid. He's using a lot of cool little rudiments in there as well. He kept his playstyle very unique and varied, and that's something that I find to be very, very inspiring. Kudos to this guy. Great job on this cover. I thought it was fantastic. And with all that being said, y'all, that's going to be the end of this video. So here's just a few things y'all can do to support me. So for one, you can go ahead and like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. You can check out the playlist I have with videos very similar to this and the links I have down below in the description for my Spotify and my band page. And with all that being said, y'all, that's the end of this video. So thanks everyone for tuning in and stopping by. Great to have y'all here. And hopefully I will see y'all in the next one. So cheers everybody and have a great rest of your night.